Hey guys, Rob Reviews here. Trying to come up with my name then. Bringing you another video. This one we're going to be doing my final review for Season 1 of The Walking Dead. This is the last one of Season 1. This is Season 1 Episode 6 called TS-19. This one originally aired in December the 5th, 2010 on AMC, and it was directed by Guy Ferland. Ferland, maybe. So we'll go through the brief plot. I'll try not to go on too long about the plot, and then we'll talk about my overall thoughts of the episode, and then we'll conclude the video in what was all of Season 1. So first, at the very start, we have the flashback with Shane visiting Rick as the army personnel are obviously evacuating the hospital and shooting people in the hallways, and obviously he draws the gun, he opens, he sort of watches on Rick, and then there's kind of like an explosion, and the sort of room shakes, and the machines just go blank, so he can't look at Rick's heartbeat anymore, and he kind of puts his chest to his thing, and his ear to Rick's chest, and he hears no heartbeat, so he leaves Rick in the room, barricading the door behind him before he flees. Obviously with the soldiers getting overrun in the hospital. Then we see Rick and the other survivors come into the CDC lobby. We see Dr. Jenner meeting them there, and he obviously asks for a blood test first of all. Well, they go in the lift actually, and obviously he has Vi, who's the AI there, who obviously he says, Vi, bring up the lights, and Vi does so. So looking around, Rick questions the absence of the other doctors, and then he obviously tells them that he's all that's left, and the others obviously opted out. They take the blood samples and all that. Later on, we see obviously them feasting in the cafeteria joyfully. They're drinking wine and stuff. We had the whole thing with Glenn getting drunk. Carl tries a first sip, and obviously he hates it. We obviously have sort of Rick toasting Jenna. Shane isn't really celebrating. He's kind of like just sitting there, not really. He obviously getting his kind of bearings over Jenna, and Jenna talks about kind of what happened. Jenna shows the group around the building, talk to the rec room and all that, and Dale overhears obviously Andrea throwing up and stuff, really upset. Talking to Jenna still, Rick drunk with Jenna. Then we have the people that we have, Shane obviously grabbing Laurie and trying to actually essentially rape her, or trying to kiss her. Well, maybe not rape her, but at least try and grope her. And obviously she scratches him, and he's kind of a bit horrified at himself. And then we see Rick. He stumbles in bed with Laurie, saying that you don't have to be afraid anymore. And next one we see Rick in the cafeteria. Glenn sort of in agony and all that. Which is pretty funny. And then we have obviously test subject 19, which is where TS-19 comes from. We see this, which is actually Jenna's wife, and we see her brain matter as she turns. We kind of get an idea what happens to her, and then we see a bullet go straight through her, fly through the head in the thing, and then obviously they sort of realise that this was his wife, and he obviously killed her. And they had the brain kind of thing there, and they saw what her brain was like, how it turned when she died. We have, asking Jenna about the clock on the wall, what happens when that points down. And basically, he says about the generators running out. So they go to find the generators, and then they ask, when they realise that the generators are out of gas, they're about to run out. There's 30 minutes left on the clock, and Jenna says there's no point. Basically, reveals that once the clocks go down, the place will self-destruct, because if the generators aren't running, the CDC is going to blow up to prevent any diseases from coming out. And obviously, people don't like that. Rick's kind of shouting at him, saying there's no hope. Daryl, I remember Jenna kind of shuts down all the doors, and then he's like, those doors can withstand a rocket launcher, and then Daryl comes with the pickaxe and goes, well, your head ain't. That was pretty funny. Shane's getting mad shooting the computers and stuff. And Rick and Laurie tell Jenna that they want a chance to keep going as long as they can. Jenna eventually agrees to open the door, but they still won't be able to get past the lockdown doors upstairs. But Rick says he's grateful. Jenna says, "The day will come you won't be," and he whispers something into his ear. We actually see that Jackie says she's actually going to stay, and so does Andrea. Andrea says she's going to stay too. And eventually, we see Dale saying, "Well, I'm going to stay too. You know, you can't just come into someone's life, check out, make them care, and then just check out," kind of thing. We see in the lobby, the group finds the doors, but they're locked. Obviously, they're shooting the doors, they're shooting the windows, they're smacking it with axes and stuff, but it's not working. And then Carol reveals, fumbling in her purse, reveals the grenade. Which basically she took out from the first morning, which is the grenade Rick actually took from the tank in episode 2. Really, really cool, nice subtle reminder. Rick detonates the grenade, blows up the window, they all run out, then Dale and Andrea run out as well. Obviously, he convinced Andrea. They say get down, as the place just blows up. We see Jenna and Jackie hold hands, both of them blow up with the CDC, obviously. Everyone sort of gets down, it blows up, and then Rick drives away right at the end of the episode. Wow, what an episode. It was really tense. Now, this episode was, of course, the finale. First of all, I want to count on the little tiny details like the grenade. That is beautiful. I love that so much. The fact that grenade, just something he grabbed just as he was there, and it actually comes into play, a massive thing, because they'd all be dead without that grenade. They'd probably all blow up as well. Obviously, Jenna sees that they make it out, and he's pretty happy. I guess, he wanted them to obviously not to suffer. That was his idea. And Jackie, when we obviously got two reasonable deaths, we got Jackie and Jenna. Jenna obviously was only a two-episode character, but we had Jackie ever since episode 2, so it was kind of sad to see her go, but it was quite nice. It was a painless death, I guess, and something that they both wanted. So yeah, pretty cool to see. Really cool episode, nice finale, pretty impactful. There was a bit of boring part in the middle, I think. Well, I say boring, it was more CD, character development, but I think it was a bit slow. I'm going to say it was a bit slow. However, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I think it is a solid 8 out of 10. Plenty of action. The CGI at the end wasn't very good. I have to say that. That was pretty poor CGI. But I think we all give it a pass because it was pretty cool. Also, I feel like they should have been a bit further away from the explosion than that. I feel like they probably might have got engulfed in the flames, but maybe that's just me getting too petty. I don't know. Yeah, really cool episode. So that's all season 1. Season 1 was pretty cool overall. It was a nice, sweet season, but it was pretty good nonetheless. Tell me your thoughts on this episode and season 1 as a whole, and I guess we'll start with season 2 now. Yeah, and then hopefully we'll eventually catch up. So yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.